right, joining us now, two distinguished House members from the great state of Texas. We have Mr. Keith Self and Dr. Ronny Jackson. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on the set. Keith Self, you were downtown in the courtroom this morning or all day or something. You got a minute on that? What was that like?
It was surreal. Let me tell you, that was a travesty, a parody, a mockery of any sense of justice. That judge has one thing in mind, along with the DA, not justice, a conviction, harassment.
Can I ask you, not to interrupt, I don't mean to be rude. I just want to say, you've been around a long time. You say that he has this conviction, he's going to bust Trump. What was the tip-off to you? What happened in there that made you think, you know what, this is just as bad as I thought it was going to be?
How he responded to the prosecution and the defense. Immediately for the prosecution, he let them do whatever they wanted to. He let the defense have no defense. That was very obvious.
And you saw Cohn lying on the stand?
Oh, my gosh.
About the embezzlement
he
stuff?
He admits it. He admits he stole. He admits he lied. I mean, what credibility does he have? Yeah. And he frankly said, I mean, this is in his testimony, revenge against Trump is best served cold. That's from his words today.
All right, interesting. Dr. Ronny Jackson, good to see you again. Thanks for coming on set.
Thank you.
As a doctor, you're a White House doctor for a good spell.
14 years.
Yes, sir. Now, all right, Trump is saying before the first debate they should be drug tested. He would submit to it, Mr. Trump. He thinks Mr. Biden be submitted to it. People are, I don't know, don't take this seriously. I think they should take it seriously. As a former presidential physician, what do you think?
Well, I think normally we would never suggest something like that, but I think we live in a different world now. I think President Trump's saying what everybody else in this country is thinking right now. What is going on with this man? What is he on? I mean, we see him for 3 years now slurring his speech, a sleepy joke, and can barely stay awake long enough to read the teleprompter. And then over the last few months, we've seen that when he comes out publicly, like he did at the State of the Union, he is completely juiced up on something. I mean, he is screaming at the camera. His eyes are wide open. I mean, he's not blinking. I mean, he's got all, he looks for all the world like he's on some type of drug. The question is, what is he taking, right? And, you know, we don't know because his doctor is completely untransparent about everything. You know, his doctors refuse to go out and talk to the press and answer questions about what medications he's taking, you know, or any other questions related to his health. We need to know. It's a national security issue, Larry.
Congressman, so, I mean, am I being unfair? Are people being unfair? You know, you saw this business. He was at the NAACP in Detroit, and he started saying, well, President Obama told me while I was vice president to go in and clean up the COVID problem in Michigan. There was no COVID problem. He wasn't president in 2020 when there was a COVID problem. I mean, is it unfair to ask this question about drug testing?
It's not unfair, but he panders to whoever his audience is. He was raised with an ethnic background. He panders to whoever he's talking to. Dr. Jackson is exactly right. It has reached the point, and everybody can see it, that we have got to determine if he has the mental capacity to be the single man in America that controls the nuclear codes. I maintain he does not.
What was it? You were in the nuclear command?
I commanded a nuclear detachment in Special Forces, the Green Berets. We were the forward deployed detachment in Germany, obviously during the Cold War. Thankfully, we never got deployed to exercise nuclear war, and nobody wants to. But you have to have somebody with a sound mind that controls those nuclear codes.
So firstly, I thank you for your great service. That's so impressive. But actually, I don't see why any of these presidents shouldn't be drug tested. I mean, as a former senior White House staffer, we were drug tested when we came in, and the medical unit and the chief of staff could have asked any of us at any time to be drug tested again. I just don't think that's a bad thing. I think at the end of the day, it's a good thing. Some things in life are unfair, but I don't know. There's a track record here. Let me move on. Ronny Jackson, another point. You've got September 30th, the end of the year. I don't know whether there's going to be a reconciliation package on the budget or not, but the Bidens want to spend $1.6 trillion. It's been out there. Politico wrote about it. We've commented on it. In the next 6 months, $1.6 trillion. It's not an easy thing to do. Their own vote buying. This is vote buying on a grand scale. Very impressive vote buying. Can you stop it? Will the House pass some kind of budget resolution that would go into reconciliation to stop this massive spending?
Well, I hope we have to, Larry. We have to do something. I mean, it's out of control. The reason we have inflation in the first place is all the reckless spending that's been going on in the last 3.5 years that he's been president, right? With the Inflation Reduction Act or CHIPS or, whatever else, all this. And you're right. We look now, we find out today that the White House is showing us where that money's going. It's selectively going to blue states and to blue areas where he's, like you said, buying the votes the same way he's trying to buy votes.
Swing states. Michigan.
Michigan. That's right. Swing states.
The Great Lakes states.
That's all he's about is buying votes, right? He's trying it with the student loan program, everything else. He's going out, he's figuring out where he needs these votes, and he's trying to buy these votes. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's, I mean, obviously, we can't pay our debt already. I mean, right? I mean, we're paying more money in the interest of our debt right now than we are for our military defense.
Dr. Ronny Jackson and Mr. Keith Sell, thank you, sir.